Hey, this is Tiqqle, and in this video we're going over the Enhance Shaman tree in the alpha for Dragonflight. We'll also talk about some things in the Shaman tree, but we'll have a different video on that. But we're focused today on Enhance. And let's go ahead and get it out of the way for all you guys out there asking about two-handed Enhance. No, it is not a thing. How do I know? I'll prove it to you because I know some people are going to be a little resistant. I can equip the two-handed weapon. I can buff it with Wind Fury. But if you look at my bars, Storm Strike, Lava Lash, all the abilities are not able to be used. So I apologize. I know there's a lot of folks out there that were hoping that this is the chance to bring it back. A lot of people, that's probably the number one question I get for Enhance, so might as well get it out of the way. But let's go ahead and jump into the rest of the things for Enhance. If you have any questions, let me know. We're going to go over the tree, and then after that, we're going to go ahead and go over what's new in the tree and what's old in the tree, because this is one of the things that we've been talking about. We've been talking about, especially on stream, every day 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/tiqqlethis, check it out below. Basically, there's so many things in the tree that are baseline in Shadowlands or are legendaries from Shadowlands or legendaries from earlier, etc. And Enhance, in my opinion, particularly has a lot of things that are being brought back. It's not like being brought back from the way past, right? There are some ideas that I have that we'll talk about, but like you don't have Unleash Rage here. That is a raid utility giving attack power to your crew. You don't have certain things like that. You don't have like, super scary Ascendants. It's still the same Ascendants. So we'll go over it. We're just going to go, again, if you haven't seen the Ellie video that I made, this is about the Enhanced tree, my thoughts, my feedback on this, and then we'll go ahead, just kind of ability by ability, saying the things I like, don't like, etc., and then I'll go over what's new, what's not. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Number one, Storm Strike. Again, it's an ability we've always had, right? So now you have to spend one of your 30 talent points to get it. I get it. I get why people might not like that, because your first 3 points, which is the triangle up here, Storm Strike, Wind Fury weapon, and Lava Lash. These are things they already had in Shadowlands and not very exciting. Then you have Forceful Winds. Okay, all right, it was a talent before. You had to talent into it. There were some other talent choices, the first row in Shadowlands. And now you're basically going to get it if you decide to go this path. Now, what I'll do is I'll actually spec into the tree slowly so you can see, because one of the other things that I've been highlighting in general across the specs is how many points do you have to go in to go to the next tier, right? And how much of that is like basically, I don't know, like 80% of what your options are, because it makes it look like you have options, but do you really, right? You have to unlock this tier, you have to have 7 points in this section. So, okay, we go into those. Lava Lash, Wind, Forceful Winds, we'll go into that. This is Unruly Winds. This is currently a conduit. Great, if you're going to be going the Wind Fury path down here, which I do expect a lot of people to be very excited about. Maelstrom Weapon. Now, again, you used to have this baseline. This probably is going to surprise you. You have Maelstrom Weapon over here that gives you a stacking buff to give you cast, but this is actually making it so that it increases the damage or healing of those spells. This is just cast speed, or making an insta cast, and then this is adding damage to it. Then you have Lava Lash, which is, again, this is a buff, almost like improved Lava Lash. I'm surprised they don't have an improved, like a revised tooltip here, or a revised name, but the Lava Lash cooldown reduced by 3 seconds. Lava Lash is used, if it's used against a Flame Shock target, it spreads Flame Shock. Like, these are, that's all reusable stuff, right? All right, so I've gone ahead and I put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points here, and I pretty much have that. So, the next point will unlock the next tree. Next up, like I mentioned, Unruly Winds. I mentioned this is one that is not new. This is Maelstrom Weapon can now stack 5 additional times, so this makes it up to 10. You also have Feral Lunge here, which is not new. It's a gap closer. But you don't have to take this or Nature's Guardian, so it is a good thing, especially for PvP situations, and doesn't hurt your survivability by taking that mobility. So it's good. I like that. Over here on the right side, these are 2 things from the past. Primal Lava Actuators, as you know, legendary in Shadowlands, very popular right now, specifically in Mythic Pluses. I'm using that along with Fire Nova, which we'll get to. And then we also have Primal Primer. This was a Azerite trait back in Battle for Azeroth. Melee attacks with Flame Tongue active increases the damage of the target takes from your next Lava Lash by 7. Stacking up to 10 times. Now, it is kind of interesting to me that this is like, you get to pick one or the other. There's not a stacking aspect to this. Spoiler, hot hands down here. But basically, one of the things I like in some builds, and Ellie has a lot of it, I can't, not as much for Resto, but a lot of builds I see, like I see it in Fire Mage, I see a theme, and I see a theme in a section of the tree. And for Enhance, one of the themes I was expecting, and you kind of are getting it, is Lava Lash theme. Almost like for Ellie, the right side of the tree is fire, the left side is lightning. I expected wind to be on the left side, you know, wind, and fire on the right side, or some combination. But here, you know, you have those 3 Lava Lash abilities kind of in a row. You have to pick. I'm kind of disappointed you can't get both. But I kind of get it that it's stacking on just one ability. So, okay, we'll take that. This is a brand new one. This is something else that we're seeing in trees kind of across the board where it's just increasing damage or increasing a stat, but like just baseline. So, and this is increased Fire, Frost, Nature by 5% up to 10%. That's just increasing your damage. People are going to go this. Like I expect this to be like a go-to thing to take because it just increases your damage by 10. Now, it's not physical damage, but a lot of your your flame shocks, your casts, etc. are all those elements, and that's basically like amplifying your mastery. Now, we'll just kind of keep going across the bar. Again, Fire Nova, Hailstorm, you know them, you love them for AoEing in those Mythic Plus or multiple AoE fights. Now, they are stacked together, and I actually appreciate this because this actually does make sense to me to stack these. Because if you had both, it would be way too much to manage, and it wouldn't make sense. So I think it's very smart to have these together. Now, again, but if you think about Hailstorm, right? Fire Nova goes with all the Lava Lash, the fire theme. Hailstorm is kind of like on its own here, right? It's kind of like YOLO. I guess it's kind of close to elemental weapons, increasing that frost damage, but the synergy, I don't really see it other than with Ice Strike. So I almost wonder if like there needs to be like a few switches in this area, because I almost feel like Ice Strike should be before Hailstorm. I don't know. But anyway, that's that. Next is Wind Fury Totem. Wind Fury Totem has been broken apart from Doom Winds. So this is a very important thing to call out. So your Wind Fury Totem can be taken separately from Doom Winds. In Shadowlands, you have to, you put on the Legendary, and then dropping a Wind Fury Totem triggers your Doom Winds. No longer the case. I can take Doom Winds without Wind Fury Totem, and when I use it, I'm going to go ahead and use the cooldown right now. It's 7 seconds, and there it is, right? Increased, I don't even know if it's working, to be honest. A lot of things are bugged, but it is separate, which is nice because then people can't, they can't monitor as much because of the placing of the Wind Fury Totem and all that jazz. They won't be as indicated that you're bursting. It's also nice because it means that you don't have to be like spamming. If you have to reset your Wind Fury Totem, it doesn't just default set off Doom Winds. I think that's a nice quality of life tweak. All right, Sundering, you know it, you love it. I'm not going to spend any time on that. This is new. You have Overflowing Maelstrom. Your damage or healing spells will now consume up to 10 stacks. So instead of consuming 5 like it does in Shadowlands, it'll consume 10. I'm assuming that means amplifying the damage like for 10 stacks versus 5 stacks, but kind of hard to tell. I don't think this is working. This has kind of been buggy, so it's been stacking to 15, and I don't think 15 is intentional. Then there's also Focused Maelstrom. Focused Maelstrom. Maelstrom weapon increases the damage or healing of spells effect by 5%, so that's 5% in addition. I don't know if that's per stack or if it's 5% overall. I haven't been able to work that out yet. After that, we have the next row we have Stormbringer. Again, this is a baseline aspect of Enhanced Shaman today. Your special attacks have a 6.4% chance to reset the cooldown of Storm Strike. Okay. Next one is Refreshing Waters, which is a conduit today. Healing Surge on yourself is 30% more effective. This is brand new. We see this across a lot of the Shaman trees right now in their spec-specific areas. I don't think Ellie has it, but Resto definitely does. Cleanse, Wind Shear, Purge, and Totems no longer cancel Ghost Wolf. Now, it's kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't get that excited about this, but maybe I'm missing something. Chat, put down below in the comments if you have like a suggestion of where this will be awesome. I don't really see it. But yeah, let me know. Maybe for like PvP running around and purging without shapeshift and like keeping that mobility is good. I don't know. Then Wind Fury Totem, we know it, we love it, it's there. It's also good to note that this is Wind Fury Totem, only has 1 rank. I believe there is an improved rank for Wind Fury Totem in Shadowlands that is a 20% chance with the main hand, but maybe I'm making that up versus 10% for normal Wind Fury. All right. Yep, and then this is Crash Lightning. We know I love it. Allows us to cleave. It's kind of interesting that this is not baseline. If you do not take this, it will make it so your Storm Strike, your Lava Lash won't cleave, which is kind of interesting if you think about being able to AoE. So I think that's kind of interesting that that's an optional pick, as well as some of the other ones that are tied to that below, which we'll go to. Storm Flurry. Now, I think this is kind of weird that Storm Flurry is on the right side of the tree here, because, again, I kind of envision the left side being very Storm Strike, being very wind-focused, and the right side is being more, again, fire, potentially, or elemental, I guess, because I don't really sense a fire theme over here. I don't see things that are augmenting my fire abilities other than just Lava Lash. Like, is there something here for Flame Shock? Is there something? I don't know. I just don't really see it. But Storm Flurry being here, I think, is really weird. I actually think that this would be way better over here, where Elemental Blast is. Elemental Blast on the left side doesn't really make much sense. I almost feel like Blizzard's baiting us here. I almost feel like they're like, this is something they're going to change, because it doesn't really make sense that Elemental Blast is so far away from elemental weapons, is far away from, some of these other elemental things. Even, there's, we'll get to the next ones. But I think it is kind of weird that Elemental Blast, which we all know, we all love, right? It does big damage right now in Shadowlands. It is over on the left side, and Storm Flurry is on the right side. It doesn't really make sense to me. So I would like Blizzard, I suggest you swap those. Just one for one. Great alignment. It kind of fits right near elemental weapons, while Storm Flurry is being near Stormbringer, etc. Now, the next line is, again, Elemental Blast. We just talked about it. There's also improved Stormbringer. This is currently bugged. I've reported it several times. Stormbringer now causes your next Storm Strike to deal 25% additional damages as nature damage. Now, if you think about that, I haven't been able to test it because it's bugged, but that might be able to chain with Storm Flurry, which allows Storm Strikes to basically proc on themselves. Now, so again, Storm Strike build, left side, I see it, physical / Storm Strike build. And then next over here is each target hit by Crash Lightning increases the damage of your next Storm Strike by 2%. Now, this is one that's already in the game. That's already built into the class, so I'm not going to spend much time. It is interesting that they've split it out, so now Crash Lightning by itself doesn't get all these effects. You actually have to talent 2 additional times, and to me, I don't really like that. I kind of feel like should just be part of Crash Lightning. As well as the next one, each target hit by your Chain Lightning reduces the cooldown of Crash Lightning by 1 second. Now, again, sure, I can opt into these, but why isn't it just part of Crash Lightning? Now, to fully empower Crash Lightning, I have to go Crash Lightning, this Chain Lightning, and 2 Gathering Storms. That's 4 talents dedicated to Crash Lightning, which already, honestly, doesn't do that much damage, especially in PvP and PvE. It allows you to cleave. But I'm just kind of like, why? Like, why have 4 things that slightly augment Crash Lightning as it is baseline, all those things together? I would really prefer Blizzard consolidate these into 1 talent point. I don't know why it's 4. That's the only thing I would say. And some people are going to get mad at me because I'm going to tell you right now, I think the enhanced tree is fun. I just don't think that there's enough new stuff in here. Like, this is an example of taking 4 talents to do the same thing that it does on live. And then some of these things up above, like these top 3, like, why aren't they default? I get Chain Lightning over getting Storm Strike. That doesn't really make much sense to me. Why not even, move Storm Strike over here so that Ellie and Resto could even get Storm Strike? I think that would be almost even more of a cheeky thing to do. Anyway, I'm going to keep moving. Storm Flurry. Ice Strike. This was reworked, and I like the rework because it's way better than the current version. Ice Strike, which does strike your enemy with an icy blade, dealing 2.3k frost damage and snaring them. Well, that's nice. It is melee range. And then Ice Strike increases the damage of your next frost strike by 100%. So that actually amplifies with Hailstorm. So if we take these together, it actually, I believe, buffs all of them. All of the, whatchamahoosa calls it. All of the frost shocks that cleave. So we're going to go ahead and get that going on here. We'll test that out. We also haven't talked about Flurry, which is back in the game. I'm ramping those up. Flurry is a base Shaman ability, but it's huge for Enhance. This is something that used to be in the game. Increases your attack speed by 15%. I kind of wish they would have said haste. Giving you 15% haste, because attack speed, kind of harder to measure that, I think, right? I feel like that's we're using different languages, like times past versus 2022. They should just say haste, then that way that calculation is much clearer versus attack speed in my mind. But anyway, it also makes it so it only happens when you crit, and we do have Lava Burst now that you can spec into, so now you don't even need to stack crit. You just have to use a Lava Burst on your Flame Shock target. Mazel tov, you're good to go. All right, let's go ahead and see. So we're going to go ahead and use an Ice Strike. That's the buff. 100% buff. We're going to go use Suspender. Now we got 100% buff. Then we also have another 75%. And then we're going to press Frost Shock. Frost Shock, it went ahead and hit for about 4.5k. Remember, I'm level 61. But 4.5k. And then critting for 8k, not shabby. So it does buff them all around. So not bad, not bad. That's actually kind of a cool combo and a way to go into that Frost Elemental build potential. Now, the next one is Ice Strike, Swirling Maelstrom. This is new. Ice Strike and Fire Nova now grant you 2 stacks of Maelstrom weapon by just pressing those buttons, which is nice. Gets the ball rolling in terms of rotation and getting things a bit smoother. I think in Shadowlands, people did have an issue for most of the expansion where a lot of people have stopped playing Enhance Shaman because they said, oh, I didn't know what button to press. I ran out of buttons to press. That should never happen. Like, that's just like, you don't, I think advanced lifelong shamans were fine with it. They knew what to do, how to fill those gaps in time. But there was gaps, and like I even felt that sometimes in raid. But even when you had lesser stats, lesser haste, you really did feel it. But anyway, so that's kind of nice to get the momentum, keep the ball rolling. Now, Hot Hand, we already know it. We already love it. It's there as well. I think I skipped that earlier. Now, the next tree, the next part down here. Again, we'll spec in all this. Again, I don't know why Blizzard did this. I've said it in the other video too. Primordial Wave, I just disagree with it being in the game. I know people are having fun with it. If they rework it to call it something different so it's not Necrolord focused, it doesn't look like a Necrolord ability, then I'm okay with it. Like, I won't complain, but I'll be honest with you, I will complain right now. And obviously there's still bugs. I can't use abilities. But yeah, I think Primordial Wave in this tree needs to be reworked. I really think there are other options. There's so many things. If you look at times past, Unleash Rage, there's a lot of things. I actually created an entire list of them because I went to the BC trees, I went to Burning Crusade trees, I went Wrath of the Lich King trees, I went to all the old stuff. For some reason, the Enhancement Shaman tree just gives me the vibes of, hey, this is from Shadowlands. And like, I don't even see many, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, let me know, but I don't see like Legion things in here either. And or of even further times past. So a few of the things that I called out was number 1, Unleash Rage, which causes your critical hits with melee to increase your party's attack power by 10%. More utility to the group. Okay, sure. People won't really like that, I'm sure, because people want to play an Enhanced Shaman to be an all-star. They don't want to be a support bot. But there is other ideas too. Like, for example, why isn't there anything that buffs Flame Tongue? Why isn't there anything in here that works with Flame Tongue? It's on your weapon. It's hitting the targets. So there used to be elemental weapons, increases the damage done by your Rock Biter at the time, Wind Fury, and caused by Flame Tongue and Frostbrand. So all those weapon buffs, we don't have them anymore. We just have Flame Tongue. We just have Wind Fury. But why not buff those even more? Sure, you can say Unruly Winds is here doing some of that, or Forceful Winds, but just give us a base increase. Flame Tongue does jack diddly, and it would be good to see that actually do something. So I think, and then there was another one, increase the melee attack power bonus of Wind Fury Totem, and increases the damage caused by your Flame Tongue Totem. Oh, that's Totem by 6%. But there's things here that, like, make this Shaman focus. Bring back Shaman things. Make it Shaman focus. Make it so something about Wind Fury. Make it so that Wind Fury can proc more often or way bigger, or procs way less often but way bigger. That's really what people want for Wind Fury anyway. No one wants these little paper cuts out of Wind Fury, and tell me I'm wrong. So this whole tree, I'm not a fan of any of that. Now there is this Elemental Assault, which is Storm Strike damage is being increased by 8%. Storm Strike now generates 1 attack, a stack of Maelstrom Weapon. I believe this is currently in the game to some degree, which is, I mean, I think it's fine. It's going to help you generate Maelstrom Weapon, but to be honest with you, I don't think it's new. Now there's Feral Spirits here. Feral Spirits, we all know it. We love the doggos. Witch Doctor Wolfbones, again a legendary from Shadowlands, and into Elemental Spirits, which is again still a talent in the game. There's clearly a dog build down here, a micro dog build that you could go. There is also a new talent here which does not work. I don't believe. While Feral Spirits are active, Crash Lightning causes your wolves to attack all nearby enemies, which is actually pretty cool. Keep your dogs up often, make you like a little pack of ghost dogs, being the Clevosaurus Rex, which is cool. Then you also have Legacy the Frost Witch, which is currently bugged, but consuming 5 stacks of Maelstrom Weapon will reset the cooldown of Storm Strike and causing it to do more damage. You can take one of these and that will still cause it to reset and just increase the damage of that next Storm Strike. So I see people going for 1 talent. Now again, I like this. I like that I can stack this along with, you know, Primal Lava Actuators, and Doom Winds, and Lava, like, Elemental Blast. I can stack all those things, but again, we're just seeing a lot of, you know, I don't know, it's just a lot of Shadowlands stuff. Now, there is Ascendance here. This is one of the builds I do hear people be are very excited about, which is all about, so let's just take away some talents there, which is all about Ascendance. So this is Ascendance. Again, great cooldown, 3 minutes. Actually is ferocious for an Enhancement Shaman. The talents that go off of that is while Ascendance is active, generate 2 Maelstrom Weapon per 1 second, which is great because while Ascendance is active, Storm Strike automatically consumes your Maelstrom Weapon, so as you're generating those, Wind Strike will automatically consume them. You don't have to spend another global to shoot lightning bolts out at the enemy. Pretty cool. I like it. Brand new playstyle-ish. It is tied to a 3-minute cooldown, though, so like your last 3 points are going to be into souping up that 3-minute cooldown. Otherwise, your gameplay is exactly the same. And I would say, frankly, I would really like to see, and let me just pause there. That's the tree. So what I'll do now is I'm going to flash up, and we're going to go through the things that are new versus the things that are old. But before I do that, my review of the tree is, hey, look, it looks fun. We're going to be able to stack things like we could never do before. Legacy of the Frost Witch Doctor Wolfbones, along with Doom Winds, along with Primal Lava Actuators. Cool, I'm going to be a super Shadowlands Enhanced Shaman. But what is new to Dragonflight for Enhanced Shaman? If you look at this tree, there are very few things that are new. Ice Strike, new. Improved Stormbringer. Actually, I think that is this one's pretty significant. New. Alpha Pack, or Alpha Wolf, new. Thorm's Invocation, new. But overall, the general playstyle is going to be very similar. There is Flurry, which is huge. Gust of Wind, I love that. There's some other stuff in this tree on the Shaman side that is going to change the playstyle, but it also changes the playstyle for all Shaman. For Enhanced Shaman, very selfishly, I don't know. I just don't see, I don't know. I'm not that excited, to put it bluntly. I think that Blizzard needs to work on the tree a little bit. I think thematically, I don't see, I mean, I see some builds, right? But I actually made some builds, a single target build, I believe this is it, that I was like, I don't see another way I could have done this. And my builds are bugged, but of course. But I don't feel like I have that many varieties. I see that like maybe 5 points could swing, you know, from this side to this side, 4 points, but that's it. And frankly, I don't think that's enough. I think that if you look, we'll do the review of the new versus old stuff. I really think that I would love to see things like give me cooldown reduction. Enhancement Shaman, Elite Shaman has when you cast lightning bolts, it reduces a cooldown. Why don't you bring that back? Why don't you give me Unleash Rage? Give me more group utility. Why don't we get something else in here that's a little bit new, a little bit more creative? I kind of feel like, to be honest with you, I feel like Enhancement Shaman, they ran out of ideas. And the reason I say they ran out of ideas is that there's 4 abilities that do the base thing that Crash Lightning does. There's 3-ish, 4 talents. I mean, almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 talents up here that are kind of baseline stuff now. That's not good. That's not good. Blizzard, I would really love you to dig deep, and I would love you to go back and look at Legendaries from times past, look at the talent trees of times past, and bring us some more juice. Enhancement Shaman needs a little bit more juice. I would also like to see the playstyle be souped up a little bit. Why don't I have something that increases, I don't know, like Flame Shock stuff, or I don't know, Fire Nova Totem, or like a Time Bomb on the Fire, the Flame Shocks. I don't know, something a little bit more creative here. I don't really see it. If you look at things like Fire Mage Tree looks very creative. They're very focused on combustion in that tree, which is the main cooldown for fire mages. But they have different ways to interact with it. They have multiple talent points or paths you can go that can proc that or cause that to have an effect or randomly get it or whatever. I would love to see something like that. I'm also very surprised to see that Deeply Rooted Elements isn't in this tree. Not that I'm a big fan of that for Enhance. I never felt that felt good. But it just shows, like, I kind of feel like there's not enough new stuff. Primordial Wave being in here, I just do not like at all. But that's me. So let's go ahead and let's just do a quick review right now of what is new on this tree and what is old. Because I do think that is one thing that a lot of people are asking. Are they just reinventing or just recreating the same things as before? So let's go ahead. I'm going to cross out everything that already exists today. So Storm Strikes, or if it's in the game today. So Lava Lash, Improved Lava Lash, Wind Fury. We got, this is Forceful Winds. It's already a talent. This is a conduit. Sunder's already in the game. Legendary here. I'll mark the legendaries. We have Feral Lunge. Wind Fury Totem's already in the game. Hailstorm and Fire Nova already in the game. This has 50%. This is Primal Primer is new, but it's also from BFA. So I'll give it a 50% off. This is brand new here. This is new. So this is like, I'll just star this or something. Ice Strike. I'm going to say that that's new. Storm Flurry. Hot Hand, Ascendance. This is the legendary, already in the game. This is a legendary. This is already in the game. This is already in the game. This is 50% already in the game. This is 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 50% not in the game. The one that Dispelling Wall and Ghost Wolf. Crash Lightning. Again, these 4 talents. I'm going to be a little salty boy about that, but it is indeed already in the game. This is already in the game. This is new, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. So now we're basically at, let's grab the blue pen here. Now we got new stuff. Oh, this is unfortunately already in the game as well. This is default. This is also default, I believe. If I do look at this again, yeah, can now stack 5 additional times to 10. Yep. All right, let's grab the blue pen. All right, this is the new stuff. We got 50% here. 50% over here with the Primal Primer. We got this new plus 10% Mastery. We got this, which is Ice Strike, which has been reworked. I'll give it to you. This is giving Maelstrom off of Ice Strike or off of Fire Nova, of course. Let's go ahead and see what else is new. This is 50% new. Dispelling Wall and Ghost Wolf. Not that excited. This is a big one. This is probably one of the best new talents they've brought out, which is Storm Strike now does 25% additional nature damage. Okay, that's one big one. I would star that one too. You got a 50% off down here. Alpha Pack, which is AoE cleave for your dog builds. Mythic Plus only probably is beneficial there. Then you also got here, which is affecting the Maelstrom Generation Wall and Ascendance, which is again 3-minute cooldown. Thorum's stuff, which shoots out lightning bolts, remember, as we said. So now if we look across this entire tree, oh, and then you also got this. This is new. This is new, which is stacking up to 10, stacks up to 10. Wait, no, it can consume 10 or just 5% increased damage. So if you look at this tree now, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things that are new. Is that true? I think I might have forgot something because I think I did this before. But I don't know. There's 10 new talents on this tree for your 30 points. And I'm going to be honest with you, it makes me a little sad because if you were to just look at the talents that are new, again, I'm just not that excited. I'm just not that excited about a lot of them, to be honest. Lava Lash, they need to come up with something new. They need to make a Lava Lash build a thing, put it on the right side of the tree. I would love to see that. Down here, take this whole area and make all this Lava Lash. Left side, bring this Storm Strike one's good, but bring me some more juice. Storm Flurry should be over here. Easy, that's an easy swap and win. Hot Hand, make something else. Tie off a Hot Hand. Make it more powerful with the next level up talent. That's one of the things I do like to see that they're bringing in across the board is leveling up those abilities. Making the next tier of that, like this is the baseline stuff you're used to, and then supercharge that by doing something else here. Right? I would love to see something like that. Consolidate these talents. I can't believe that there's 4 talent points you're going to have to get to invest to get back to baseline. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, it makes me a little sad. And then this bottom part of the tree, I just don't see the builds kind of being wrapped up into the bow. Right? If we look at Ellie, you see Maelstrom Weapon being stacked on Earthquake or Earthshock after you've already spent a poop load of points into Earthquake or Earthshock. That's great. It's like tying it up with a bow. I feel like the bottom bit should be the bow tire. Also, you see the bottom with Fire Ellie or Wind Speakers. Like, those are things for Ellie I think are just done really, really well. But over here, like, you have, like, your Wind build is this stuff right now, which is kind of decent. But then you don't, it's kind of like this part is where the builds stop. It's like, this is thoughtful, this first half of the tree, and then this bottom bit was just like, hey, we gotta fill it. We gotta fill in the rest. Let's get the rest. Throw some legendaries in here. Legendary. Let's go ahead and get some talents in here. These are our existing talents. I think this area right here needs some work. Up until that point, probably mid-tree, we're looking okay. This is like, okay, this is the existing stuff. It's okay. It's all right. Oh, look, I can switch. I can put Primal Lava with Doom Winds, etc. But below here needs some help. And listen, I know there's a lot of people that said the trees look awesome, and I'm not saying they don't look like they're okay, but I just personally feel like we need some more variety here, or else people are just going to be playing Shadowland Shaman Enhanced Shaman in a new expansion, especially with a Covenant here, I just don't like it. I'm actually really surprised to see that Chain Harvest, this tree, dude, if they made this area, instead of making this Primordial Wave, if you made that Chain Harvest focused, reskinned Chain Harvest to just blue it, make it blue, you would literally make people freak out and be super excited. Like, plain and simple. And don't even add the heal to it. Just add the damage to it, you know? And make it look like lightning. Are you kidding me? People would freak out, man. Primordial Wave, this is just sad. But, sorry, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm very positive usually, but I'm gonna be honest with you. The bottom section needs some help. All right, this rant has gone on for now 30 minutes. Chat, that's what I think about the Enhanced Shaman tree. I wanna go ahead and just say, Blizzard, you're on the right track. Huge opportunities. I think you just need to bring in some new juice. The Enhancement Shaman needs more juice, or else I just personally, you know, again, it all comes down to damage scaling. You know, Enhanced Shaman itself could be awesome, very satisfying to play, or at least, you know, I don't know, do a lot of damage. But I'm going to be honest with you, I would like some new stuff to go into the new expansion. I don't really just want the same stuff. A lot of the new stuff kind of is already in the Shaman tree. We're getting stuff for PvP like a Root. We're getting increased casting damage. You know, we're getting attack speed, mobility, like a knock-up, a healing. There's a lot of stuff there, but the Enhanced tree needs a little bit of love. And I also think that, you know, like I said, wind, you know, some type of wind / storm strike on the left side, and then the right side make it fire, and then in the middle make it get rid of this crash lightning stuff. Just get rid of it, and instead make it caster focused. Make my lightning bolts do more. Make my Ellie blasts do more. Make chain lightning do something. Have a chance to stun them. I don't know, something more than just reusing a lot of the existing stuff. So that being said, rant's complete. That's the video. You asked me to review it. That's what I think. Blizzard, you're doing a great job. Keep it up. But that's my feedback. If you want to ask me, we're going to be on stream every day, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going over this every single day. Blizzard's quickly making changes week to week. We're hoping to be able to influence that chat. So come by the stream. Give me your ideas. I'll be reviewing builds as I have time, and we'll keep going. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Adios.